Donald Trump is obviously at least a little bit worried about some of those he might be running against in the general election in 2020. But before he even gets there, he has to get through his primary. And it turns out now he has a challenger. But for people who oppose Donald Trump, how much should we actually care about this primary challenge? I understand this is Joe Walsh, and I'm not gonna show you video of him because screw Joe Walsh, but here is an announcement that he made. He tweeted, "Friends, I'm in. We can't take 4 more years of Donald Trump, and that's why I'm running for president. It won't be easy, but bravery is never easy. But together we can do it. Join me, join us. Let's show the world we're ready to be brave." And so Joe Walsh is gonna be running against Donald Trump in the primary, which is weird because he at one point was a pretty strong defender of Donald Trump. You might recall, he tweeted this in advance of the 2016 election. "On November 8th, I'm voting for Trump. On November 9th, if Trump loses, I'm grabbing my musket, you win." Some people took that as a threat to violence or civil war if Trump were to lose, because that's what it is. And now the primary challenge, which means that he's got some support because he's running against Trump. Even people like Tom Arnold, who's a liberal, tweeted, "Join me in supporting Walsh for president." There's a fundraising link for him. And I get it on some level. We don't like Trump and he's running against Trump. He might be trouble for Trump, but this is Joe Walsh. And so how excited should we actually be? We're gonna go into some of his statements, but initially the announcement that there might be a contested primary, what do you think?
No, this is gross, and we're focusing on the wrong thing. Stop caring so much about Trump supporters and what they're doing and how you can split them and do this. I think when we look at not even the presidential race, but we can look at one very important presidential race to this, but a lot of our, a lot of the midterm elections, I think the races that got the most attention, that made the biggest moves, they got more people to register to vote and participate in the process. And people who say they're on their side, they got them not to abstain from voting and not to vote right in something random like Teddy Grahams because they were mad that their person didn't win.
I miss Teddy
I know, they're good. But I think that what's most important is getting new people to vote.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't matter. They're both really gross.
But that is an interesting idea and has a proven track record of working.
Okay.
But I think that we should try to get Trump voters to vote for us more.
See,
I'm kidding.
like, stop.
So here's the thing. I'm old enough to remember who Joe Walsh is, and thankfully some people are doing a really good job of spreading it.
You mean you were alive a few months ago?
Now, literally now. But anyway, people like Jordan Yule and Jules, like friends of the show, are helping to spread this information. But I want to spread it some more. So first, before we get to his quotes, why is he running against him? Walsh wrote in an op-ed earlier this month that Trump is not a good leader, but a racial arsonist who encourages bigotry and xenophobia. That is a very good quote. And he is literally the worst messenger in the world for it, considering some of what he has said. So if you're not familiar with Joe Walsh, it's totally understandable. I wish that we could continue to not be, but he's gonna be in the news a lot, so you should know who he is. He used to falsely accuse the former president of being a secret Muslim, this is Barack Obama, who hates Israel, and regularly questioned his birthplace, a conspiracy theory also embraced by Donald Trump. Obama, Walsh argued, only won the 2008 election because he is, quote, a black man who was articulate, which that doesn't play into any tropes that I'm familiar with. That's totally fine.
Oh my God.
That doesn't recall anything bad. Let's see, after the 2015 domestic terror attack in San Bernardino, he urged people to, quote, do whatever we can to defeat Islam, not terrorists, but the religion of billions of people. Let's see, he said some tweets before, and I'm gonna try to be very careful because some of this is not safe for work. This is him. To say that it's racist to call Haiti a S-hole is like saying it's racist to say Chicago is a violence problem. Haiti is an S-hole and it's run by blacks. The violence in Chicago is all black on black. Those aren't racist statements, they're just facts. Whew.
I know.
He could be our next president, so people. Gross. Aren't you excited? That's not Trump anymore.
He is our president. Like what?
Yeah,
basically. There's nothing
They're
different.
Probably related. Let's keep it real.
Honestly, they all are somehow. And there is this. I just ugh.
No.
It's gross. And what's frustrating is that how normal this is. That somebody who speaks like that, somebody who tweets like that can still say, hey, I'm running for president because I have a lot of followers. I'm running for president against the current president, and boom, he gets to be on network television.
Yeah, and
this horrible racist gets to be on network television.
There's gonna be a lot of producers at CNN and MSNBC, are they gonna be like, oh, bring him on, it's exciting. Drama in the primary, now we've got a story. But you do have a story, but the story is about how awful he is. Like, look, if he hurts Trump in the primary, great, yay. And still, screw him for everything that he said and done.
I'm not worried about them and what a bunch of racists are doing and talking about.
I'm worried about what racists are doing.
Our focus, as far as like the election, like I really just want to focus on really great candidates and fleshing them out and learning more about them.
Well, let's flesh out this great candidate.
To the polls and protecting our rights.
No, there's no time for that. No, we're gonna do that too. So he also tweeted, imagine if cops wore socks showing Native Americans gambling and drinking firewater. This is because somebody posted Kaepernick socks which had cops on them. He also tweeted the same thing, the same picture, but it was imagine if cops wore socks showing, it was I think Asian drivers who were bad at driving. Which I don't even know what that would look like on a sock. How do you actually show that on a sock? A sock is a limited palette. Like you can't, it's not much canvas to work with.
It's just like an equal opportunist racist.
It's just racism.
Yeah.
He also tweeted this. I hope to God this is blurred out. Yes, it is. Okay. He tweeted this in 2014. Found out if I said Redskins or cracker or redneck Bible thumper, I could stay on. But if I said the N-word or the S-word, they cut me off. Yes, he indeed wrote out in full the worst racial slur and was shocked that he would get in trouble on the radio if he said that 5 years ago.
It's just and he's not shocked. This is a grown man. He doesn't care. He's testing the limits because he feels untouchable. And honestly, the society is proving that to him. This is so, I just don't care about the two of them fighting it out and what that could mean. And it is just so awful. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I do think that he is going to be embraced by certain mainstream media sources.
Yeah,
I want to try to undercut that. And honestly, I think that talking honestly about who he was, not 20 years ago or 10 years ago, but that asshole countries thing, how long ago was that? Like that was not that long ago. And now he wants to pretend. He said in advance of his run, you know, I've acknowledged now that the way that I used to act, that laid the foundation for people like Donald Trump. And so who better to stop it? I understand the coarsening of our discourse. You're still coarse, you're real gritty at this point.
Yeah.
And so I just want to make sure that history is not rewritten as it is for so many people in the Trump era.
I think that's a good point. I also, like he's not, you know who, he's not gonna be embraced by Trump's untouchable base.
No.
Never Trumpers, it's just not as many people as you think it is. And really, it doesn't matter because it's a group of people who are okay with racist policies and all of, you know, like a lot of bad things that have harmed a lot of people. It's just Trump goes a little too far.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Because right now they are in full support of the congressmen and senators that we now realize are horrible.
Yeah.
And a lot of them at one point, Ted Cruz was a never Trumper.
Yeah, exactly.
They're best friends or something.
And now he's laughing at jokes on Twitter.
It's weird, yeah, I don't know, so.
Yeah, so look, it's not gonna work.
Point, right.
He's gonna be shocked to find out that it's hard to break that cult's hold on Trump. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.